How's it going? I'm Jeremy with MS Videos, and I'm going to give you a little update on the Tacoma, and well, since I'm at it, I might as well update you on the other cars as well. Been a bit of a run-in with Toyota. So 4 or 5 months ago, the battery died. Didn't think anything of it because, you know, that happens from time to time. And then it died again, and then it died again. So I took it in for, I think it was the 25,000 mile service, somewhere around there. And I was like, hey, can you check out the battery? And they're like, well, you've got a lot of stuff on the truck. Like, we don't really want to touch it, and the battery tests good, so... And I'm like, all right, so what do you want me to do to test it while it's still under warranty? They're like, unhook everything. And I'm like, all right, that seems a bit excessive because none of it is attached to the wiring of the truck. It's on its own circuit that, you know, was added in an aux beam. So that powers all the accessories. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I go in for my 30,000 mile service at a different dealer because I was kind of ticked off at the first dealer. And the battery was dead when I went to pick up the truck. And they're like, oh, you know, we can check that out. Just pay a $199 diagnostic fee. And if it ends up being something wrong with the truck, we'll cover it under warranty. And I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't sound so bad. Like, I'm pretty sure it's something wrong with the truck because I know what I'm doing. So take it back, drive it. It dies every single day, every single morning, every single night. Leave work, go to work, battery's dead. Finally, just say, I'm done with this. I take it in, I drop it off, and I'd be like, take the truck. Just I don't want it back till you fix it, because I'm at like 33,000 miles now. My warranty ends at 36. So they have my truck for 2 days, and he calls me, and he's like, we need you to take the stereo out, because I have a Sony head unit for the bigger screen. So I'm like, no problem. I drive over the next morning, I put the factory stereo in, and talk to the technician. And he's like, cool, it should be no problem. They test it, it's still getting 200 milliamps of draw on that same circuit. And I'm like, well, the stereo's not the problem. And none of the accessories are hooked up because I unhooked every single light, everything. It's all unhooked. And they're like, yeah, well, I don't know, you've done a lot of stuff. And I'm like, the only thing that's left is the front camera. Like, yeah, because we can see that like the wires are soldered in. And I was like, that's a jumper harness. Like, you know, it plugs in here. Gives you an input for the front camera. And he's like, well, can you take that out? And I was like, you know what? I'll come tomorrow morning. So I go in the next morning and I unhook the front camera, plug the factory wire into the factory head unit, and bolt it back in the truck. And I'm like, there you go. Next day, we're still getting a draw. Okay? At this point, everything that was ever installed except for the PC Commander, which if you don't know, goes on the throttle plug, the throttle pedal. It plugs into the back and then plugs into the factory harness so that when you press the gas pedal, it changes the rate of feedback to the computer. Has nothing to do with electronics when the truck's off, but they're like, well, you've got that installed. And I'm like, everybody has them that has a Tacoma because Tacomas suck for throttle response. And they're like, what about the thing on the back of the cluster? And I'm like, the Hypertech, that's carb legal? Like, it just changes the speedometer size to match the tires that are on the truck. Like, 50 state legal part. Like, no craziness. Yeah, we're not comfortable working on your truck. This is what the guy said to me. He goes, your truck is extremely modified. And I kind of held back the laughter because the only thing that's done to my truck is a suspension lift and a body chop so that I could get clearance with the 33s and bolt-on stuff like a winch and lights. But it's heavily modified. So they're like, yeah, we're not going to work on your truck anymore, so you can just take it back. And I'm like, okay, you've had my truck for, at this point, 9 days. They haven't figured out the problem. They just know what circuit is pulling it. So I pull up the schematic. There is it's either 32 or 36 different components in the truck that are on that same circuit. And nothing that I've installed is on any of those circuits. So it's obviously a factory problem. So now I get to do the fun thing of digging in there and figuring it out myself and then billing Toyota for my time because they're refusing to warranty it.
Any of those Toyota guys out there that might be experiencing the same issue, where you just, you know, your Tacoma could be completely stock. And if you go out to your truck every single day with a dead battery, every single time you go to work, leave work, and you have a dead battery, and you somehow figured out what it was, put it in the comments.
Yeah, hit me up.
You know, saving us some time.
We know it's the one. I know which fuse it is, but there's I went to TIS and paid for the membership so I could get in and see all the wiring schematics, and it's basically everything on the truck goes through that one circuit. So
alternatively, when you're driving the truck, why don't you just pull the fuse when you hop out of the truck? You know, at the end of your day, like, or when you get to work.
I'm just putting a quick disconnect on the negative terminal, so I can just open the hood and go disconnect it, so that at least it doesn't drain overnight.
Yeah.
For temporary, not permanent.
Yeah.
So this was supposed to be a short. So either Tim's gonna have to edit a lot of this out, or this is not gonna be a short. That doesn't even get us started on the other cars. Let's talk about the Chevys. So, you know, in December we bought a Tahoe, 2025 Tahoe. It was a new family car. Drove it for a total of 9,000 miles before it was in a car accident and totaled. And in that time, literally a month of dealing with insurance and BS
May
there.
27th was the day of
the
accident. Yeah.
So June 27th or 28th, we bought a Suburban. 2025, brand new. They finally said they were going to pay us out on the Tahoe. The insurance is saying that the 2025 Tahoe that had 9,000 miles with a window sticker of 72,000 is only worth 65,000. And I said, show me anywhere in the country that you can replace that car with 9,000 miles for that price. You can't do it. I've looked. But in the meantime, we bought a 2025 Suburban. We owned the car 1 week. Picked it up. We're just getting comfortable, getting used to it. We go by a Salon Republic or Salon Centric for her to try and pick up some supplies. And they were closed. So we pull into the spot. We back out of the spot. She puts it in drive. As we start to move forward, a lady backs into the brand new Suburban. Not even joking, we had 600 miles on the car. The lady jumped out and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Her husband or boyfriend, I don't know what they are, he comes running out of the motorcycle shop that they're at. And he's yelling at me, telling me I need to calm down. And I said, yeah, I was hot, but I wasn't hot at the lady. Like, an accident's an accident. And it was a bump. Like, she literally just tapped the bumper. Went to the auto body shop, and that little tap is $5,012 and like 37 cents because of all of the sensors that are in that back corner that are now have to be recalibrated. They have to take the glass out. They have to do this, take that off, because there's a crease in the actual metal that they have to fix and then sand everything. And I'm like, can't you just put a little touch-up paint and pound it out? And they're like, no. And I'm like, you really have to pull the glass? And they're like, yeah, if you want it done right, because it's a big giant quarter panel, we have to blend all of that. And I'm like, this is crazy. So you have to understand the situation we're in. We don't even have plates on the car. That's it. The protective film is still on the freaking stereo. Like 600 miles, and I'm not kidding. So anyways, after we got the quote, we sent it to them. They responded with, we'll talk and we'll let you know. It's been 36 hours, haven't heard back from them yet. So if we don't hear back tomorrow, we'll just submit it to their insurance and go that route. So that's the Chevys. You already heard the Tacoma. So let's talk about the other Toyota. That one. AE86. Not Little Tofu. Still waiting on the clutch. Special order from Japan. It's been 2 months, still waiting. But when the clutch gets here, that will start the next phase. We still have a little bit of cleanup work to do on the motor, and they do have the gasket set back in stock, so I should probably order it, but spent a lot of money the last couple months and don't really want to spend anymore, so it can wait until the last minute, and then I'll just order it. Hopefully they're not out of stock at that point. On that note, MS Videos, we out.